Welcome back to Feed My Starving Americans. Today we're going to modify our recipe a little bit. We got our standard pack and we're going to add some dried chives, salt, citric acid, and Moroccan seasoning. Let's go. All right, we're going to walk through the whole process. So I've actually gone back and measured out what were my mugs measuring at. I'm going to do 2 cups of rice. I'm going to do a cup and a half of soy. It's going to be approximate. Cup and like a half. That's about right. All right. Now I'm going to do full tablespoon chicken. We're going to do a full tablespoon of Moroccan seasoning. We're going to do 2 tablespoons of vegetable blend. Yes, I know I am giving my secrets away online, but that's okay because sometimes you do things for the greater good and not just to make money. So now we're going to do 3 teaspoons of salt. 1, 2, 3. We're going to add a tablespoon of dried chives. Come on, just have this open. Dried chives are amazing. I'm gonna do heaping spoon. Yeah, nice. All right, now 1/4 teaspoon of citric acid is 1 tablespoon of vinegar. So I'm gonna do half a teaspoon, and that's gonna be 2 tablespoons of vinegar, just like that. So now I've got the entire thing ready to go. No MSG, mostly actually really good ingredients, and I'm hoping for super flavor. All right, I got my 6 cups of water to a ball, like they say in Louisiana, because I was down there for a bit. All right, there we go. Woo-wee, look at those chives. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. Give it a little stir. Cool thing about citric acid is that it's actually, I think, a little closer cousin to the lemons and lime family because it's citrus, which in principle I actually think is cooler than vinegar in terms of adding acid because we're adding like real like lemon juice type-esque flavor to a Moroccan dish, which just makes a ton of sense. Another cool thing, the dried chives are adding a lot of beautiful color, which just makes it feel a little bit more like a luxury item, which is totally what I'm going for. All right, let's talk numbers here. So here's the pack of food. I think we're gonna call it the difference pack because it could be the difference between somebody being able to pay their rent or not. And it's just a word that means a lot more to the American audience, I think, than some of the other words. So let's talk numbers. Here we got my scale, and let's weigh this. It's 1 pound and 3 ounces. So in other words, that is 19 ounces of food. And when it comes down to it, all right, let's talk numbers. Here we got the meal. I think we're gonna call this thing the difference meal because it could be the difference of somebody being able to pay their rent or not, or make ends meet or not. Here we go. 1 pound, 3 ounces. So that's 19 ounces of food. Now, Rice-A-Roni costs $1.65 a box, but it only has 6 ounces of food in there. So this is numerically triple that amount of food, but we're producing ours for just under $4 per bag. So we're getting a lot of value out of that. But you know, imagine what a difference that could be for a family who's struggling to put meals on the table. This makes enough for 8 servings. We eat it comfortably and have another leftover meal in the fridge for $3. I mean, you're not even getting a Happy Meal for that much these days. So, and better nutritional value. We're talking protein, we're talking good veggies in there. This is a really healthy option for a family in the USA. What I get more excited about, though, is imagining a future where we could produce these types of meals overseas on location. I know Feed My Starving Children makes a really big deal, and I'm not knocking them. I donated to them, and I really love their organization. They make a really big deal out of volunteers in the US packing the meals and sending them. Imagine what you could do and the impact you could have if you actually bought local ingredients and you had local labor pack that ingredient and then you had more of a locally adapted recipe to fit what's available there. There's definitely proteins and starches and everything that we're putting in these meals available locally. And yeah, imagine a future where we weren't carting it halfway across the world, but instead could make it right there on site. It's really coming together. I think we're almost ready. All right, here we go. That's really good. I missed the MSG a little bit, but I know we're in a healthier track here. I wonder, so okay, I'm probably gonna give it like a 7.8. So I feel like for the health advantages of ditching the MSG, we've come a little ways. The citric acid is interesting. I feel like it could almost use a little more than a half teaspoon. Because I'm getting a little acid, but it's not as strong as maybe I might like. So I might try to ramp that up in a future recipe. But this thing is still emerging. I also had another person say, hey, why don't you try onion flakes? I thought that was an interesting idea instead of the chives. I love the color that the chives add though, so. All right. Really not bad. Like, I'm probably my harshest critic. It's really good.